He took out the wrong guy. That's not who I want. What's the point of having a death note if it's gonna keep taking out the wrong guy? Ryuk! Ryuk, get in here!
It is I, Ryuk, the Death Demon.
There you are. Thank you for joining me as you messed up again. What's the point of having this death note if you keep taking out the wrong guy? Huh? The other day I said I want you to take out the most evil man in the world, and you took out Ozzy Osbourne?
Well, that was a very vague description, sir.
Yeah, so I got a lot more pointed in my description, didn't I, buddy?
Why don't you just say their names?
Well, I'm not going to write down the exact name. Then it can be used as evidence against me. I've seen the show. Stop trying to change the subject. You messed up. Okay? I wrote down here a perfect description of who you were supposed to take out.
And I followed that description.
Tell me who you think when you hear this. An old racist. An old racist who became famous on TV in the 1980s. Someone who was synonymous with 1980s culture. Who pivoted to reality TV in the 2000s. Who are you thinking of, buddy?
Well,
Oh, it's still a little wide, a little too wide. How about a man who knew that his name was his brand and he cheapened that brand by attaching it to any licensed piece of shit that would come across his desk? How about that? But how about a man who also understood that his fans were raving lunatics that would fill up stadiums and arenas and would wear his name on their t-shirts as they screamed and listened to him talk a bunch of nonsense into microphones? Does that narrow it down? How about a man who was friends with Vince and Linda McMahon? Huh? Does that narrow it down? He was a snake that screwed over workers trying to form unions. He famously lives in Florida. He used so much self-tanner that his skin looked like a hot dog, and his hair bleach slowly made his hair look like cooked ramen noodles. He was involved in multiple WrestleManias. He had a secret tape scandal that many people thought would be the end of his career forever and that would remove him from the public consciousness until Peter Thiel showed up, the billionaire who secretly financially backed him, and then he became even more rich and powerful. A man who has talentless children, but for some reason has said multiple times how sexy he thinks his own daughter is. A man who is a WWE Hall of Famer who specifically spoke at the 2024 Republican National Convention. A man who I've hated for decades. Could I not be more clear?
Florida has a lot of old racists.
And what did you do? You took out Hulk fucking Hogan!
Skin like hot dog.
Ryuk?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna count a win as a win. Fine. I did hate Hulk Hogan. But you gotta get better at this, buddy. Because last time, when I wrote down a president who's been heavily involved in housing, you took out Jimmy Carter.